Greetings everyone, my name is Bobby Dsouza from the multicolored India. Being a motivational speaker, coach and trainer, people around me call me Bob. I assume you like to call me by this name. But more important than who I am, what my name is and what I do, I would love to inspire you by a real story that I experienced a few days back. So if you're ready to join me on this little story, why don't you just put on your headset, put on your imagination hats, close your eyes and experience this with me. Are you ready? Thank you. Here it goes. It was a lazy, cloudy early morning in the hills with a little cool mist blowing on my face. The only sound that could be heard in the serenity around were the sounds of birds chirping in a distance. As usual, I got my favorite cup of tea that I can never say no to, and I sat quietly sipping and thinking of how I would like to begin my day. How would I create something new today? What are the list of bills I got to pay? What are the few agendas that I got to meet? What are some of the critical things that I got to sort out today? My thoughts led me to my past life, and I started feeling a little sad because of the many things that were not going as I would desire it would have. While lost in my thoughts, I saw a tiny beautiful sparrow near my feet. I was startled, thinking that this little bird did not mind my presence and chirped sweetly as if calling a lost, forgotten friend far away. As I watched closely, I observed that the little bird was crippled and it was hopping with great difficulty, trying to fetch some grains near the staircase. I started feeling bad for this little bird. I started thinking, oh my God, how does this bird even live its life? What a pity for this little helpless bird. Firstly, it is so small, it's got so small feathers, and it is crippled. What is the hope for this puny creature? And how long will this bird even survive? While I was busy in my pity party, I saw the bird take 3 hops, 1, 2 and 3, and raised its wings and flew a few inches high on the outer gate of my home. Surprisingly, it then hopped a couple of times more and flew higher, a little more higher, higher and higher with a straw of grain in its beak till I could not see it anymore. Wow! Witnessing this early morning fiesta of this little bird, I was completely taken aback and started reflecting on what I just saw. How many times in our lives do we think, if I only had that, I would have achieved so much? If I only had wealthy parents, I would have done so much more. If I only had so much money, I would have created my own business, far bigger and larger than what I have right now. If I only had enough money, I could dare to take the risk and get into entrepreneurship. If I only had more talent than the other guy, I would have been a rock star. How many times do we grieve over not having many things that would delight us or lead us to our deepest desire? How many times do you and I say, what can I do? What can I do? I'm helpless. I don't have that. I feel crippled. If I only had that, I would have reached my dream. If I only had that, I would be more content and happier. How many nights have we spent crying over things that you and I don't currently possess? How many pillows have we dampened by our tears, crying over a person who we loved and we never wanted to lose, but who went away from us and we can never get them back? How many times have we grumbled for years and years about friends and people who have abandoned us and who have never supported us? How many times have we so desired a dream but never have taken a step to even make it happen because we felt so inadequate, so crippled and so weak? Honestly, think about the little bird. Even the little bird could have thought that there is no hope and no life beyond being crippled. But did it? but did it? As I reflected, I was deeply moved. And I realized that no matter crippled by feet, the sparrow was not crippled by its mind. It knew its prime calling to fly and fetch food for its own family. And that was more important for the bird. The bird didn't sit down on its pity party story of the past thinking, oh, I cannot do this. You know, you and I, we cannot afford to live in the dark thoughts that hound us of our past, of tears and pains that have been there in the past. It will only flood us with despair and anguish of what we lack. But my challenge to you, my friends, is would you want to look afresh to this new year ahead of you, to a beautiful story that you and I can create and write for ourselves? So if people are going to leave you, it's alright. Let's fly. Do you lack things you desire right now? Forget it. Let's move forward and fly. We may face failure, but can you try again? We may hit the wall. Is it possible to climb the wall? We may face setback again and again and again. But do you think there is a possibility of moving forward? You might have gone through the worst situation in your life. You might have gone through death and crisis and unfathomable situations. But do you think there is hope for you? And I would say absolutely yes. Just like the little bird, no matter crippled by the thoughts that it could have, but it chose to achieve its prime calling to fly. I want to ask you, what is your calling? What is your purpose? Isn't that more important? Isn't your dream more important than the crippled feeling that you have for the moment? Don't you think you and I have a bigger purpose than the setback and the pain that you and I are facing today? So if you're ready to take the plunge with me right now, why don't you close your eyes? Let the picture of you feeling as a puny creature and being crippled in that situation change today. Let the picture change to a beautiful picture of a creation who's not inadequate, who's not crippled, but who is victorious, who can achieve and who has achieved in the past and can do great things. You are talented, you have great potential, you have great skill which is birthed in you, and you can choose to make a difference for your own self and to countless people across the globe. So are you ready to fly very high? In order to fly very high, you just got to make a decision that I am a beautiful creature. I am different from anybody else. I am greater than I can think that I am, and I want to fly very high. Make that decision today and start flying very high. Make a decision and start flying very high, because you are the best of the best. Thank you. Signing off, Bobby Dsouza.